episode 8 of the Golden Ram Buzz podcast with Chris, Damon, and Sal. Sal, what's up, my man?
Yeah.
Last time we left, you said 8 was going to be enough.
Yeah.
7.
Well, I think what I meant is after 8 will be okay. So we got 8, and now 8 is enough. So I meant we're going to win the next game.
We lost.
I'm just kidding. I'm dressed in black because that hurt.
That hurt. We lost 31-10 to the Niners for the 8th straight time in the regular season, Sal.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this.
Yeah, I mean, it never gets easier. But the crazy part was, as I was watching the game, the first half, the Rams were in full control. The Rams were playing well. I mean, putting together those long drives. But I kind of felt the momentum shift right before the first half when we had the ball and we kind of just ran out the clock and we're satisfied going into halftime with that small lead. But I didn't feel good about it because I think against the Niners, the Rams have to remain aggressive all the time. You can't let off against the Niners. And I think when you do that, I mean, I know what the Rams were trying to do, but you can't protect your quarterback. This is football. This is the way it goes. You know, you have to be aggressive and you have to stand toe-to-toe and be physical with the Rams didn't be physical with the Niners, and the Rams didn't do it. And I think it kind of, maybe the psyche of the Rams kind of felt like, they were content with that. But no halftime adjustments came out, and 49ers get the ball back. And just, it was like a completely different game in the second half. And it just drives me crazy when I see the Ram players start, getting in those little skirmishes and kind of losing their composure. I mean, that just adds to the embarrassment, I think, for us Ram fans.
The atmosphere was unbelievable. The tailgate was busy. I had fun with the Niner fans at the tailgate.
Yeah,
I loved that tailgate. I loved it.
They're passionate fans.
Yeah, they came. They were passionate. We interacted with each other.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, a couple Niner fans were dancing with my cousin Malik. It was funny. Like they're dancing. Malik had a sombrero on, getting them all riled up and having fun. And then the game started, like you said. The Niner fans, it's so loud. They beat LA. When the game is close, you don't hear the Niner fans because it's close. Second half, like you mentioned, they outscored us 21-0.
Yeah.
Then the Niner fans beat LA.
Yeah, and it's difficult for fans that are at the stadium. I mean, to be able to see your team get handled on the field and then also have to take it in the stands. I mean, it's frustrating. You're outnumbered by Niner fans and some of the other visiting teams that have big fan bases. So it's hard to be a fan and be sitting there and to have to, take it. But, everything is settled on the field. If the Rams are winning, it's quiet. You can hear a pin drop. So it's up to the Rams, team to play better and quiet the crowd.
Now the Rams are 3-4. Do you think it's time to panic?
Maybe not panic, but definitely a concern because you played 7 games already. You have 10 remaining. The Rams have to win at least 5 of the 10 to just be even maybe considered. I think you could probably sneak in the playoffs with with a record of maybe 10, 11 wins.
I think they need to go like 7-3 because they're 3-4. They need to go 10-7 to me, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm saying at the very least. I'm saying that. Of course, you'd want a more impressive record, but the Rams need to definitely turn it around now.
The Rams running game. Still on the back of who's Ronnie? I never heard of Ronnie Rivers. I think he led the Rams with 21 yards rushing at the line.
I remember his dad played in the NFL, but the Rams have no running game.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating. I mean, they talked about the Rams have done a couple of things, but really it's just the running game's non-existent. It's hard because you become one-dimensional. The 49ers have a strong pass rush. So when you have no, running game, they don't have to respect the rush, So they're just going to key on Stafford, and they're going to bring their pressure, and that's exactly what they did.
Key on Stafford, bring the pressure, and then handle the receivers. Like you said, the Rams got passive going into halftime. I think maybe even talked about it. He's like, no, I felt this and that, but there's 1.5 minutes to go. Rams had a timeout. Why not throw the ball down the field and try to get something? And then go ahead.
Yeah, especially when, you look at the series. The 49ers going into the game have beaten the Rams 7 times in a row in the regular season, right? So when you play a team like that that's been so dominant in that series, you have to, build on any type of success you have. So the Rams were able to, when they put together those lengthy drives, that was impressive. I mean, even for the fans, they were feeling good. But to kind of let off the gas, in the on the last series before halftime, the message it kind of sent was kind of like, you're playing not to lose, and you can't play these games like that. You have to be aggressive. I'd rather be aggressive. If a player's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt. But you can't. You can kind of back off. You got to be aggressive with the play calling.
Now, there's no seem to be a running game. Is it the scheme, or what's going on with the running backs? You think it's the scheme McVay has, or just the running backs' offensive line? What do you think the cohesiveness with the offensive line? What do you think is causing our running game to disappear and be on the back of milk cartons?
Well, I think definitely when you lose a guy like Andrew Whitworth to retirement, I mean, the Rams knew that was coming up. And when you lose that type of leadership along the offensive line, that's huge. And then also, the Rams, of course, weren't expecting these, injuries to take place. But I think even if the Rams' offensive line was healthy, we don't have a running back that's really a proven running back. I mean, we had Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson, and together they were okay. But, without Cam Akers, now we just have Darrell Henderson. And then you have, Rivers came in and, he took advantage of his opportunities, but we need a proven back.
Yeah, we need a proven bell cow.
Yeah.
Bell cow.
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee Titans
I love
bell
running
cow.
the football.
Yeah.
Running the football, it does so much for your team. Also, keep in mind, when the Rams are playing these teams, look how long the Rams defense is on the field. Eventually, you're going to start breaking down.
Yeah, you need the defense to rest.
And also, look at Aaron Donald. I mean, Aaron Donald was all world, and now, think about this. Aaron Donald, he was contemplating retirement, right? And so he decides to come back, to give the Rams opportunity to run it back. And he definitely didn't come back for this type of season, right? And so, when you have your star players like this that are just, Donald is a quiet guy. He comes in and just performs. But, he has to be frustrated. And the Rams, they have to find a way to get back on track. But there's time. But really, I think the mindset is a big part of it.
And also for the running, I think you need running for cold weather games. I think we have games coming up against Seattle later on.
Yeah.
Green Bay is going to be cold. Even though Green Bay is down and out, still, we have to win it.
Every team is dangerous in
Yes,
the NFL.
yes. You need,
And so when you have a team, when you're able to run the football, you're in so much better shape. It takes a lot of pressure off the offensive line, also off of the quarterback, Matthew Stafford. So you do have to have a running game to even compete. You can't drop back and pass every down. You already see what, how scary was it when we saw Cooper Kupp, on the field? First of all, why is he even on the field?
that's what I was about to ask you.
With the time remaining.
Come on, Sal.
I would have had Stafford should have been sitting down. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, let's take him out. I mean, you're down, 3 minutes to go in the game, with 2 minutes left, 17 points, or why are you in the game? You're not going to.
I mean, I know these guys are competitors. A lot of times they don't want to get out, but you're the coach. You have to, it's up to you to you have to kind of scale back these the aggressiveness of these players. Both of them are competitors and want to be in the game, but there's nothing to prove. All you're going to do is suffer an injury, and that's the last thing the Rams can afford to do.
That would have cost us our season, to me. If
It
Cooper Kupp
would.
is out for the year.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the last time we saw, now it's the Rams play the Bucks. Speaking of Cooper Kupp, last time we saw Cooper Kupp play against the Bucks, he was catching that beautiful touchdown. Not touchdown, but a beautiful pass from Matthew Stafford.
That was money.
Field goal. Remember at El Torito watching that? Oh my
I'll
Lord,
never
have
forget.
mercy.
Yeah, I think I scared everyone in El Torito that day.
Yeah,
right?
you got loud.
That's what I'm saying.
You scared me. You got extra hyped up that one.
I was quiet. It was like that one of those want to get away commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, I was quiet, but I couldn't hold that. I couldn't hold it in. When I saw Cooper Kupp open and I seen Stafford drop back to pass, I knew it was a touchdown. So yeah, that was a great celebration.
Back to the scene of the crime. Now, these two teams are most people Super Bowl representatives from the NFC. Now the Rams are in 9th place. The Bucs are in 10th place.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the loser of this game is out of the playoff race, or?
Yeah, I would say they're on the fringe, but I think one more loss would definitely put them out.
Because you got, so the Bucs, they're 3, but they're in an easier division. Carolina, Atlanta's in first place, 4-4. Our division, you got Seattle's in first place.
Seattle
Niners.
playing great football.
I believe, I'm not gonna say if we lose we're done, because last year the Niners were 3-5 and they went on a run because they know when your back's against the wall, you gotta win the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And then make it all the way in the NFC Championship game. But I want to do something. I want to end Tom Brady's career. Last year we thought we ended it. And then the game.
Well, he did retire for
And the NFC
about an
divisional
hour, I
game.
think.
Yeah, an NFC divisional game. We thought we ended it. Then he came back. So this year, if we beat them, I want to end it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think this Rams beat him. That'll be the last time we see Brady.
Because you got to remember, the Rams and Brady are connected. Remember his first Super Bowl, who did he beat? The
Yeah.
Rams. You see the
Yeah.
Rams players on the
Yeah.
sideline. Brady's overrated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So his first Super Bowl victories against the Rams, that created that. Then his last Super Bowl in New England, who did they beat? The Rams.
The Rams again. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Rams and Brady are connected. So let's end this. Let's cut the umbilical cord and say you're done. You know?
Right, and I think also, you beat the Bucs, and I think you'll put the Rams in good position too. You have to, right now when you're struggling, you have to find little reasons to, little segments of the season and to kind of build off of. And I think the Rams, you beat the Bucs. The Rams are not in bad shape, but they definitely didn't expect to be here. But going into the season, the Rams had the toughest schedule in the NFL, right? So after 7 games, I mean, realistically, the Rams are 3-4. That's not what we hoped, but it was a possibility, and so now that's where the Rams are now. But it's never over. I think the Rams, even with the trading deadline, the Rams had to evaluate, certain situations. Is there one player that can come in and change your season, or do you want to chase a player, bring in a player, and give away more draft picks if he's not going to be a difference maker?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you have to believe, hey, we broke camp with these guys. These players need to step up. They need, Jalen Ramsey, those 2 passes,
Yeah, the passes you don't intercept.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pick six.
Pick six. That changes the dynamic of the game.
Yeah, not only does it change the scoreboard, but also the momentum. It would be a big momentum shift for the Rams defense to be able to do something like that. And then he also that fumble McCaffrey, and it bounces right into the.
Did he fumble twice?
Yeah, he did.
He got hit, fumble. Somebody catches it. Then he got hit. Then 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
The Rams could change the complexion of the game and win the
But
year.
one of the plays that really just broke my heart because the Rams didn't learn from the last time was when McCaffrey threw that touchdown pass.
When he caught the touchdown pass. That's from
he got the touchdown pass, but he threw it.
that's from the Cincinnati Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's
they used the same play.
I mean, that was unbelievable. I knew it was a lateral. I could tell by the way he was running. He wasn't even running towards the line of scrimmage. Yeah, so he was kind of, he was in position to throw the football, but. I mean, you saw the Rams safety bid on that, and all you had to do was just throw it over his head, and that's exactly what
Is that the first time in Niners history somebody ran a touchdown, threw a touchdown, and caught it? Damn.
Yeah. He probably could have played quarterback that day, too.
Yeah.
He did everything else, But, what made it even more difficult was the Rams and the Niners were the 2 competing teams for Christian McCaffrey. And then he goes to the Niners, and in his first game against the Rams as a Niner, he kills them.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bucs, we have a Bucs super fan, DeMar J, ready to be a guest on here. So
he's diehard. I met him at SoFi last year. So I'm sure he has a lot to say.
Yeah. Come on down, DeMar J.
Yeah, that's what he's got to say.
So we got Bucs super fan DeMar J here. Now, I know DeMar J since he was 4 years old. I know his family. We're really close. His cousin is one of my best friends. What's up, Val? I know you're watching. So, DeMar J.
Yes, sir.
Why are you a Bucs fan?
Started when I was young. My grandma's from Miami. I'm sure you know that. So we would fly out there a couple times to meet family, visit family. And I saw one of my cousins. I think it was Bucs and Packers. He was watching NFC Central. So it was back then. And I just saw the logo. I thought it was cool. Came back home. Started playing with them on Madden. I think about 2-3 years later, they won that Super Bowl against the Raiders, and then it's pretty much a wrap ever since.
You know about the Bucs. Obviously, you know you're wearing a Mike Evans jersey. Who's your favorite Buck player of all time and why?
My favorite Bucs player of all time and why?
Yes.
I'd probably have to say Mike Evans.
What?
I'd probably have to say Mike Evans.
Of all time?
I don't want to give a typical answer. It's easy to say Warren Sapp, Rondé Barber. It's easy to say one of those guys. So I don't want to give a typical answer, but I'd say Mike Evans. Just came in ever since he got drafted by Texas A&M. Just came in, grinded, super consistent. But only receiver 8 consecutive years, 1,000 yards. So I would say Mike.
Really? Over Tom Brady?
Yeah, definitely over Tom. Yeah, definitely over
Do you
Tom.
consider Tom Brady a Buck?
Definitely. Just because he helped us win the Super Bowl, took us back to the promised land, helped change the culture a little bit. Doesn't look like it now, but yeah, I would consider Brady a book.
Now, one of the best games ever was NFC Divisional Championship as a Rams fan. You know, the Rams won that game last year in Tampa. What did you think about that? When you watch that game? Tell us about that game.
We dug ourselves in. We shot ourselves in the foot in that game. We put ourselves in a hole. I think we shot ourselves in the foot. Just too many mistakes, too many penalties. So yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. When the Rams were up 27-3, I was scared. I was watching it with a whole bunch of us, me, Sal, a whole bunch of us, Chris, at El Torito. I said, it's not. My cousin Malik's like, it's not over yet. Don't say Tom Brady's name 5 times because he come back. And the next thing you know, comedy of errors. This fumble here, this fumble there. High cover Matthew Stafford. So I'm like, oh no, not again. So I'm not gonna lie. I thought the game was gonna go into overtime. But when they threw that ball to Cooper Kupp, the first one to get like the yardage, I'm like, okay, I had a little sigh of relief. And then the beautiful pass. I mean, sure, remember play that way, the catch, the pass. So the game-winning field goal.
I don't know how we blew that coverage. I still don't know how we blew that coverage. I still don't know. I still don't know.
And Dominic Suh came in, tried to hit his own his own former teammate, Matthew Stafford. But I know deep down inside you thought they were going to come back.
Yeah, of course.
Now, my question after that is, did you think Tom Brady was done? Do you think he's like retired? You thought he was done? When he said, I'm retired, this is my last game, and then how'd you feel about when he retired?
When he first announced it, yeah, I initially thought he was done.
Okay.
I thought he was done. I thought he has nothing to prove. I know his wife has already been saying, she wanted him to, give up the game. He has nothing left to prove. So I figured this might be it.
And then when he came back, you're like, oh, we're going to win another Super Bowl.
Yeah, how can I not think that? Unfinished business, that was the whole theme coming into this season. So, of course
But there's one thing you're missing. Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski catches touchdowns and he blocks. Your tight ends now, they don't run block.
Yeah.
That's just from my perspective, And now, Tampa Bay's in what? They're 3-5?
Yeah.
Do you feel if the Rams beat Tampa Bay, they're done?
I think so. I think whoever loses this game, there's a good chance they might miss the playoffs.
Really?
I think so. I think this game is that pivotal. I think it's that big of a game for both.
With your division, Atlanta being 4-4, Carolina with like 3-5, I believe. You tell me Tampa Bay can't catch Atlanta? They'll be done?
We gotta get our stuff together, man. If we don't get it together, then we're not gonna catch them. But if we can get things together, which I know we will, we're super talented, man. We know we can play. Everybody knows we still got talent. We just got to get it together, and yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Well, hey, nice time chopping up with you again. Here, hold this ball. This is a great ball for you to hold. Hold this Rams ball. Here, hold the Rams ball, baby. Hold the ball. Get the ball. Get it to him. Whose house? Rams house.
That was a good one.
He said the loser in this game may be done. I feel where he's coming from because he knows his team better than we do because he watches all the time. Trust me, he watches all the Tampa Bay games. But I still think at 3-6, Tampa Bay can catch Atlanta for some reason because there's no pulling away. Our division, I still think will be in trouble. But last year, like I said, now we're 3-5. So we'll figure about that. But that was a great interview with DeMar J. Thanks a lot, DeMar J. Good luck to your... No, good luck to no Tampa Bay. Go Rams. I ain't getting good luck to nobody no more. This is Rams house.
Yeah.
We gonna win.
Yeah,
we gonna win. I'm a winning streak. Tell them, DeMar.
Yeah, we need all that luck. Huh?
You know what I'm saying? No more good luck to nobody but my team.
But yeah, Rams.
I'm tired of being nice. I ain't being nice no more. No injuries, of course, but I'm tired of being nice, Sal. Yeah. The Rams need to win all their games.
Well, really great. One point you made, which was interesting. So when the Rams were playing the Bucs, right?
Yeah.
And you remember when you said that you thought the game was going to go into overtime, right?
Yes.
You remember how aggressive the Rams were? The Rams could have sat back and just went into overtime. No, but what they do, they pushed the ball down the field and made a big difference, right?
Yeah.
They should have done the same thing against 49ers. You always want to be aggressive, and that's McVay's been known to be aggressive. So I wish he would have done the same thing against the Niners. You don't give them an inch because it comes back to haunt you, and that's exactly what happened.
Now we got some NFL good games this week. On Thursday, the Ravens beat the Bucks, 27-22.
That was interesting.
Lamar turned it over in the second half. Yeah, it was a good game. The Cowboys destroyed the Bears without Ezekiel Elliott, and Tony Pollard went off. What do you think about that?
Yeah, man, he's a good running back. They have two, and we don't even have one.
And you know what's interesting? Tony Pollard only costing $900,000 because he's on his rookie deal.
Right.
Next year, the Cowboys have to think: do we sign Zeke, which is an older now. You know how running backs are, or do we go with the cheaper, pay Tony Pollard?
Yeah.
And you know what I say?
They have a big decision.
I say you don't pay either. You draft another quarter. Tony Pollard was drafted later rounds. You can draft a running back third and fourth, fifth round nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Tony Pollard was drafted late.
Yeah, you can get lucky here and there, but I mean, when you have a good running game, you know, like Pollard, he's a real deal, and I think that, you know, for the Cowboys, they'll pay him because he earned that contract.
Yeah.
Either way, you're going to pay, but you can't have two big,
Contracts.
two big contracts on the same roster. And Ezekiel Elliott, he knows his days are numbered. I mean, when you have Pollard running that way, you know, he knows his days are numbered. But he'll probably, you know, maybe be a backup or, you know, maybe help a team that needs a little bit of help, like the Rams. But
The Vikings beat the Cardinals 34-26. The Saints shut out the Raiders 24-0. Now the Raiders were the people's pick to make the playoffs, but now they're 2-5. The Raiders are not making the playoffs. I told you in one of the past episodes.
That's
The
right. I remember
Raiders
that.
are done. You're not going to win any more games, baby.
Yeah, like
Something about
I
that,
said,
Sal.
Raiders have car problems. I mean, I still say that. And the Raiders need help. Yeah, the Raiders need
The most
help.
overhyped team. Oh, we got Devontae Adams. We're going to do this. We got Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
Last place, baby. Let's ride, just like the Broncos.
Yeah.
Are they gonna ride
Bronco country.
Are you gonna ride in the car, or what's gonna go? Who's the first and last place? It's gonna be the Broncos or the Raiders? Sorry, Raider fans, don't get mad.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
only being real.
you're just being honest. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny with the Let's Ride and
Yeah, the Broncos. Let's ride.
Yeah.
They won though.
Yeah, when you're losing, it doesn't really.
Speaking of Russell
doesn't
Wilson,
make sense.
his former team won 27-13 in first place in the NFC West. Geno Smith needs comeback player of the year at this
Yeah,
rate.
definitely. That's a big surprise. I don't think anyone could have predicted that, but you know, maybe Pete Carroll knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, he sees something we don't see because they're in practice. They see something. I think the team. Sometimes somebody could be too much of a superstar and don't really worry about themselves. He has a celebrity wife like Tom Brady, but Tom Brady seems like to always incorporate the players. Russell Wilson, because you heard him on the airplane going to London, doing calisthenics. Come on, dude, really? You can't rest up? Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, you got to take it easy a little bit, and I thought that was a little bit much.
Yeah.
But you know, he's not fooling anybody. You know,
Yeah.
you got to win games. I mean, he was brought to Denver to win games.
The Bills beat the Packers 27-17. Aaron Rodgers only had 200 yards passing.
I love watching that game. I love watching the Bills.
Because I can never root for an NFC team to win against the AFC team because that helps the Rams.
Yeah, anything that's going to help the Rams. I'm
Yeah.
all for.
And it's crazy. The schedule, when you first looked at it, like it's so hard. But the Rams have to play the Packers, are not good. Saints are not good. Seattle, I didn't think Seattle was going to be. Now Seattle's look like they're
Yeah,
going to be
Seattle's
good.
tough.
Arizona, we have the next one after the Bucks. It's like, what's going to happen? Let's talk about some Week 9 games. Chargers at Falcons in Atlanta. Obviously, I'm going for the Chargers.
Chargers and Falcons.
Yeah, I got the
Wow,
Chargers.
both those teams are struggling. Atlanta is crazy though. You never know what you're gonna get. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get with Atlanta. But the Chargers, they're pretty much they're struggling.
They're erratic. I don't know what you got at Atlanta. 'Cause I-
Well, I think it's funny because you remember at the beginning of the season, they kept talking about Justin Herbert and building him up, and to me, he makes a lot of plays. His stats are impressive, but I just have never been impressed. When the game's on the line, you got to win those games,
Yeah.
and he hasn't been doing it. So I think that that game is going to be a toss-up, but I would say Atlanta.
Bills and Jets. Bills, one of the
Bills
top.
and Jets. Yeah, Jets are playing good football.
Yeah, but I got the Bills.
I would take the Bills too.
The Vikings and the Commanders. Kirk Cousins goes back to Washington to play against his former team. Commanders are 4-4. I thought they'd be done by now.
Yeah.
The Vikings are hot. They're like 6-1 or whatever. But I don't know. What do you think about that game? Who are you going for?
They do have a little bit of magic. I see when they bring in the backup quarterback. Hanky, they're able to do things. I'm going for, I'd say Commanders.
I'm going for the Vikings because the Commanders are 4-4 and the Rams can catch them better than the Vikings because the Vikings are 6-1. So I'm always going for the teams like 3-4.
Yeah, but for the Rams advantage. But as far as just like if I had to pick those two teams, that's who I pick.
Now this is a hard game right here. Seattle and Cardinals. Who do you go for?
Seattle and who's that?
Seattle and the Cardinals play each other.
Seattle and Cardinals. I would say Seattle. I'm going for Cardinals, but I would say Seattle.
Yeah, because that's such bunched in right
Yeah.
now. Sunday night game is a beauty. Titans and Chiefs.
Boy, that's gonna be a good game. Titans again. I always like the Titans, and but Mahomes. Mahomes is always able to bring him back from from defeat. But I don't know. I think the Titans might start making a move.
I'm going for the Mahomie to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Monday night game, Ravens and Saints. The last game on the schedule for that week. I got the Ravens.
God.
Ravens.
I always say Ravens. Yeah. Saints are disappointing. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, they beat the Raiders. Oh yeah, they beat. The
Yeah, I was gonna say the Raiders. Yeah.
With that being said, another episode of Golden Round Buzz podcast with Chris DeMonancel. Like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Big shout out to our Tampa Bay guest, DeMar J.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Whose house?
Rams house.
Whose house?
Rams house.